Welcome to a new edition of This Racing Life. We've come to Epsom, where before this summer, the last group winner came from Laura Mongan's yard in the shape of the St Ledger winner, Harbour Law. But this summer, a Group 1 winner came from Adam West's yard, Live in the Dream. And we've come to find out more about his story and now the road to the Breeders' Cup.
Trust me, we celebrate Class 6 race at Lingfield.
The same as if it...
Well, maybe not quite as much as we did at York on that day, but every win, as any owner would tell you, is special. It's amazing.
I suppose we went in, as a 28-to-1 shot, and I was relaxed in that way. I thought it'd be great if we could get the horse to run well or get the horse to run the money. I thought that'd be a great result for everyone, for Steve, Jolene, and Adam. But I did nothing different on the day, really. I just let the horse use his stride, and he showed his talent.
You always have talked about bringing this horse to America.
I'd be a fool to think that we can go to the Woodford and win that. But for me, if I see him leading those guys into the 5, half a furlong from home, that's going to be everything. That will mean we've got something that can go to the Breeders' Cup and put it to them.
Okay, well, Adam, what a wonderful summer, living the actual dream. Can you tell us a little bit about the whole experience, the Nunthorpe win, what it's meant to you and what it has all been like?
Well, first of all, it hasn't really sunk in. We were quite busy the day before and the day after, and with racing, time never really stops. You live by this 5-day entry, 2-day declare rule. So if you're having any sort of life, you live by 48 hours, and I don't think I've had 48 hours since the win, but all I know is that everyone has been so welcoming, and I've had lots of trainers come up and say, well done, and offer their congratulations. And at first I thought they were being polite, but even yesterday at Worcester, people were coming up and congratulating me and saying, that's what we're all in it for, the small time hitting the big time. And I think that's really starting to resonate a little bit, and I just want the next one now. Yeah,
so you're Group 1 winning trainer now, a Group 1 winning horse, but it's not just about that, it's not where the story's ending, you've got so much more, and this is what it was all, the aim was going to be, America. How is this process planning out at present with the horse?
Everything's sort of come together. I really believed his early pace and his starting gate prowess was made for America. And I was kind of scared we'd lose him ourselves to go out there, but it looks as if we've got the best of both worlds now. Stephen and Jolene's son, Reese, he's always been a big part of the prelims coming up, and we all have stable names. Everyone has that relationship with their horses. They're not just living the dream, X or lot free. They are, they're pets and family to us. So it's they always get names. And Reese was asked, in the most beautiful way, what do you want to call him? And he just said Fred, and it fitted so well. From there, he's always been a Fred. And luckily enough, today we're heading out to the stalls to do a first little test with a bell, see if we can get used to doing that there, because a lot of people have said that it's very different, and we just want to cover our angles. And
not just any bell, a homemade bell, because Adam West is now an electrician, fitted something very, very particular, but it's a very essential tool that he'll need to learn to use to his best of his ability.
Well, absolutely. I think when you're on the breadline like I am, very close to the margins, you run things, as tight as you can, but you've just got to think outside the box. And if I can put my head together and make a bell, I'm going to do it, and that's it. I'll do anything I can to get the best result. If you stand with Jolene, or just a little bit closer. Okay, go practice run. 3, 2, 1. Middle, yeah. Yeah, you're looking to go on 0, not 1, Mario. Okay? We do one last time. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Now that was a little, so just somewhere between them. That's it. So a little quicker, a little quicker, and that's it, perfect. Yeah. He just has to hear the bell, and then the doors open. Yeah. That's it.
Locked.
Mario, are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Oh. That is quick. Yeah. Oh, excellent.
I just wanted to go back and go to the beginning of this story with Living the Dream, and when you first saw him, and take us back to that day and your memories.
Well, we had his half-brother live in the moment. We brought him from the Breeze Ups. He was actually quite sore after the Breeze, and I don't think many people were willing to take a chance on that. I thought, considering how sore he was, his time was reasonable, and I liked the page. We've got a couple at the same time, and I pitched Live in the Moment to Steve. He was out on holiday at the time, and when they came back, I think they fell in love. He had to wait a long time to get the best out of him, where he was, a little bit sore and still growing. But he came good through lockdown, and the horse won, 5 out of 5 sprints, and gave the family a really good time, even though they were having to be confined. The brother came up in the sales, and I said to him, I really like the mind on the horse, and if you could get the horse without the problems that he encountered, you'd be another 10, 20 pounds even better. I think it's worth a punt. And when we arrived back from racing and he had been delivered, we looked over the box, and he must have only been about this big. And I said to Steve, if we get a win out of him, it might be best to sell him or move him on as a 2-year-old, because he's probably a little compact.
Yeah.
But he grew on us, and his raw speed and his the way he goes about things, just we couldn't even dream of it. And it wasn't until we put him in the stalls as a baby that we were getting really excited. And the Lils, who looks after him, and the lads that were here at the time that are still here, I remember we jumped him out, and he must have left the lead horse 2 or 3 lengths, got 25 yards clear, his ears pricked like, I can do this. And I think we came back and thought, this is a proper horse.
I didn't sit on the horse until I rode him at Chester one day on very soft ground. The ground was just completely...
You were worried about that, weren't you, at the time? That it might be a bit too soft for him.
Yeah, well, this day at Chester, he was only a 2-year-old, and I think he was running a nursery handicap, or it was a maiden, I can't really remember, but that was the first time I sat on him, and that might have been one of his final runs of the year. And Adam took him back and gave him the winter off and gelded him. In the meantime, Steve and Jolene had a horse out in Dubai called Live in the Moment. Yeah. I was riding him out there because I was doing a stint out there with Satish Seymour. So Living the Dream went pretty well, and when I got back, his physique had developed into a nice 3-year-old, and I think when I won on him at Sandown on quicker ground, as a 3-year-old in a handicap, he recorded a good time. He won really easily, and I think it was from then I knew that he's obviously got some talent.
Your relationship with Sean, you guys have bonded very quickly over kind of a chance meeting, him just being down here at the right time.
I'm so grateful for the chance meeting. I'm very much a believer of, if someone reaches out or puts the effort in for you, you're going to return it. And anyone that came to ride out at the time, we'd make sure we gave them a ride, because not so long ago I was a stable lad, and if it wasn't for someone giving me the opportunity and my owners, giving me the chance, I'd be, nowhere. And so when Sean reached out and made the effort, there was a little bit of luck, because the first horse I put him on won, and actually ended up winning a few with him. It kind of just went from there. But yeah, I mean, he made the effort, and that's all it takes sometimes.
When did you first get in touch with Adam? How did that come about? Where did the story begin? Yeah,
so completely by chance. I was riding for David Amara at the time, and he had me down south 2 days in a row. I was at Epsom for him one day, and I was at Goodwood the next. This would have been a couple of years ago, and I was staying overnight in Epsom. I thought, well, who can I ride out for? And I gave Adam a call, and he'd seen me ride. I actually rode a winner the night before at Epsom, and he'd seen it. And I said, yeah, pop in for a couple of lots. So I came in to ride out, and it went from there. Adam's been one of my biggest supporters ever since.
You've always backed your own method, your own approach. You're not the classic trainer that we see maybe at Newmarket the likes, and Epsom has been vital to that. Why is that so important to you as a person as well as a trainer?
Well, it's important to me because I get that mix of town and country. We're so close to London and the vibrant city life. Alongside we can also be in the countryside, and those kind of routes are so important to keep your head level. You can have your release in the city, or you can have your release and your interest in the countryside. And it's also networking. You're meeting the right people in both setups.
And how important is it to boost the story and show off the story and go and show the rest of the world what you can do now?
Well, I'm already looking forward to defending the title next year.
Brilliant.
I mean, if he doesn't do well in America, we'll take it. You know, you can't be everything. I think sprints can run in a different 10 times, 10 different winners. We all know that. But when you can sort of manipulate things to your best advantage, like his early speed and the right course, you know, you've got a better chance of going your way. And I know all the press that Highfield Princess got and the run up to Nunthorpe. You know, if we're even half of that next year, you know, that would be amazing. He costs less than 30,000. You know, he's still more than what most people could afford, but he's not an expensive horse. And if that horse can go out and win something like that, and do it again, like, or even just fight the good fight one time, it's going to really bring a lot of people into racing.
Living the dream, a real speedball going in next, the Chestnut.
What was the feeling in the build-up to it? Did you feel like you go in under the radar, but you had a lot of confidence in your horse? What was that time like?
Nearly exactly, Jess. Yeah, look, I obviously knew the horse had a lot of talent. I'd won some races on him, some good races. And he'd beaten some good horses before he ever stepped into that Group 1, even in defeat at places like Newmarket and Haydock. Yeah, I suppose we went in, you know, as a 28-1 shot, and I was relaxed in that way. You know, I thought it'd be great if we could get the horse to run well, or get the horse to run the money. I thought that'd be a great result for everyone, for Steve, Jolene, and Adam. But I just knew I'd go out there and I'd give him the same ride I always give him. You know, you got to ride the horse aggressively. That's where he shows his true colours, and he can produce his best form. And I did nothing different on the day, really. And it was just, the conditions were ideal. The ground was fast, and there was a bit of a tailwind, and I just let the horse use his stride, and he showed his talent.
And away they go. Living the dream, pink jacket over on the far side, off to a good start. Highfield Princess in that far side group as well.
He's always sort of there to be shot at in these good races on the front end. And it takes a lot to do that, you know, to do the donkey work for all those good horses. But I think it's taken races in that grade to bring him forward, and he really has come forward. He's improved more than, like, you can talk to Adam, but he's improved more than we could have ever imagined.
Spread across the track, living the dream, a real trailblazer. He's awash with sweat, but by golly, he's flying. They're all queuing up behind, though. Highfield Princess beginning to gather herself. Can they get to living the dream? And Sean Kirrane looks like going to be an all-the-way win, and a surprise in the Nunthorpe.
I was just happy to be there. I was happy to be leading up a Group 1. Can you not? And I just necessarily thought that we were going to place, but it wasn't until I remember him being loaded and I was saying, oh, I feel sick now. I felt violently sick. And then when it got to the 2 pole is when it started to hit me, like, good win. He's still going.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely amazing.
And that, knowing that he's going to get there and hold on, and you see 2 high-class horses like Highfield Princess and Bradford coming to him, and you're thinking, is he going to stop? Is he going to stop? But in your mind, he's done it.
I'm thinking, like, they could catch you, they could catch you, they could catch you, and then obviously I thought he went on again, didn't he? Yes.
And then you go, and from there on, you're screaming, you're running, you're going to bring him back.
I haven't lived that one down yet.
And bringing him back in, and the kind of watching everyone around you, do you even got any memories of it, or does it feel real, like what happened afterwards, being sort of suddenly in a cauldron of thousands of people just watching you and cheering you home?
I mean, for me, it wasn't the atmosphere or, you know, the audience. It was just more or less realising what the horse has done, and, you know, you can't really get better than that.
What does it feel like now to be part of this journey?
Well, to be honest, riding for Adam and Steve and Jolene, there never really is any pressure. You know, we've got a really good horse, and we all know we've got a good horse. But I suppose in this sort of circumstance, you know, pressure's a great thing. I mean, I suppose it means we're about to, you know, go on and do something great, go on and try to achieve something great. You know, so definitely embrace that pressure for sure. But at the end of the day, once you're on the horse and you're in the race, I know how good he is. So. There's no pressure once the gates open, if I can use that cliche. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. So the plan next is obviously going to Keeneland. We think that these tracks are going to play massively into his strengths.
Absolutely. Look, we've always thought that will really help him being a front runner. Those tight tracks with the bend will really play into his strengths, and of course he's got the gate speed to boot. But look, I've never ridden in the States, but I've done 2 seasons in Dubai, and I've had hundreds of rides on the dirt, and it's. Yeah. I suppose if you can compare that to American racing, which a lot of people do, it's a different tempo of a race. You know, they really race from the start. It's all about gate speed, and it's all about early positioning, and it's something I'm familiar with. So I don't feel like I'll be out of my depth riding there at all. I'm ready for it, and I can't wait really.
Okay, Adam, what was the thinking behind coming to Chelmsford? Have you seen everything you wanted to see today?
Well, we wanted a left-hand bend. We wanted to be able to let him down, bring him somewhere different so he can get more experience. The turf track is just coming into play now, and it was nice to have a little warm-up around that, get our toe into this. Yeah, I've seen everything I wanted to see today. It's been brilliant.
We are 9 sleeps, non-sleeps perhaps, till he flies out to Indianapolis and then down to Kentucky for his quarantine and then to Keeneland. So, you know, Chelmsford was, I think, an obvious space for Adam to bring him, and they've been very welcoming today, and it's excellent. He's done a very good bit of work. Lils is very happy, big smile on her face, so that's the most important thing. So he's gone well.
Did you ever expect the journey to be what it has been this year? Has it been one pinch myself moment after the next?
Definitely. Not something that we ever imagined, really, was it?
No, I mean, for years it's been my dream to go to the Breeders' Cup, and in fact for the last 20 odd years we've always managed to find a place to watch the Breeders' Cup wherever we were. Just us, you know.
Well, we've always dreamed of going to the Breeders' Cup, never to have a horse actually running in it. Yeah. To now have that opportunity, it's unbelievable.
How easy, maybe, or difficult was it just to think with American mind? You know, you could have had any jockey in the world probably, but keeping Sean on him.
You've got to have your loyalties with him. He's been there from the start.
Yeah, I mean,
he knows the horse well.
A few people have approached us since the Nunthorpe. I suppose leading up to the Nunthorpe, Sean rode him in the Palace House. We were really unlucky that day, he came second. We rode him again in the Temple Stakes third, so we were placed in 2 group races leading up to the prep run in Deauville and then obviously the Nunthorpe. But I thought his sectionals that day were spot on, and as far as him riding in the US, a few people have said to us, you know, are you sure you're making the right decision here? You know, playing devil's advocate. But Sean, we know from Maidan, he works out there for Bupak, CMAR. He's ridden a lot of dirt races where they go really quick out the gates and everything. I have no concerns, and
100% the right choice.
And there's no way are we not using Sean.
Sean's unrivaled belief in the horse, and same as me, absolute stubbornness that this horse can do this, and this is the way that he's best to be ridden, has won him the race. So you can't take that away now. And I think if something, God forbid, happened, it would be a real blow. And I think if this could be the story that makes his career, I'd be thrilled to be part of it.
And take me back a little bit to where it all began. Like, why racing? Why have horses in general been important to you?
So for me, growing up just off Tatnam Corner there, by Epsom racecourse, used to walk my dog up there and onto the downs, and you'd see the horses training and everything. It was just always special just watching them doing some work, and then the Derby was an amazing day, the first Wednesday in June back then, and to be able to miss school on that afternoon in June with permission of my mum, bless her, and dad, and just going up there and watching the racing, and it was, it's the sport of kings. And years ago I got involved again with a syndicate and with Josh Gifford, who was just delightful, legend, and so welcoming, going down to the gallops at 8 o'clock in the morning, watch the horse work, and then come on boys, let's go and have a gin and tonic, and it was amazing times, and treasure those memories. And a chance meeting with Adam at the local cricket club in Banstead, and we got introduced, and he said, I'm a racehorse trainer, and I was like, I've not heard of it. Who? Adam who? And we went and met him afterwards, and saw his setup. He only had 6-7 horses. We got involved again, a little share of a horse there, and then moved on from there, and it's been an incredible journey. Now we've got the second favourite in the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint and the winner of the Nunthorpe, and it's like, of course.
Yeah, I mean, they're a great family. The whole chance encounter with them at cricket was, set everything in motion, and we get on really well, and that's so important. It's not, when we're at this level, like where we are, it's not just about boss and employee. It's friends as well, and that's been very much the case.
Did coming back to Epsom with Adam feel a lot more special, bit different, and especially now owning horses outright on your own?
Yeah, because we could go and visit and be part of the whole journey rather than on the racecourse only.
Yeah.
We can go and watch him train in the mornings, we'd be involved the whole time. Being
so local for the kids to go and see, the horses work. We haven't got to jump in the car and go an hour and a half to the yard or whatever, to the gallops. It's 10 minutes away, and we're up on the downs, and then Reese and Amy back, at the stables, giving carrots and patting the horses. Or, it's.
Well, Amy's even had a little stint in working at the yard for a bit.
Amazing.
Helping out.
And we heard earlier about the reason why Living the Dream is called Fred, and why it's been very important, and you've talked openly about how important it's been for your son.
Jolene's better at that, because I'll get too emotional.
Go on.
You too.
I don't know, really. It's just, it helps him. It just, he goes there and he just loves being involved, and just, it's really, I don't know, it's quite...
Yeah, so you light up a bit. Do you see a kid that just wants to feel himself?
With animals, it really helps him with but being able to go down and be involved, and he gets very, very excited when he's on the race course, and he goes home and he watches the races over and over again.
And I suppose that's the autistic side coming out in him, and you know, his fascination.
They get a fascination about something,
and the repetitive nature of talking about them all the time.
And with that in mind, does that give you more fire in your belly to want this to really work? And when you see it,
I think
when you see a winner, doesn't matter if it's Group 1 or whatever, you know that it's going to mean so much.
See the joy.
So much joy that he gets from it.
Yeah, trust me, we celebrate Class 6 race at Lingfield.
The same as if it...
Well, maybe not quite as much as we did at York on that day, but every win, as any owner would tell you, is special. It's amazing. But yeah, I mean, like, look, we've got his half brother, who, as everybody knows, he was the one who gave us Living the Dream by doing so well, winning those 5 out of 5 that year. And Jolene named him Live in the Moment because we'd gone through a particularly bad time leading up to when we got him. And that was when Reece was diagnosed with the brain tumour at the time, which we've now found out is benign, and he was under the care of Gosh. And it was a difficult time, and Jolene just said, you know what, we live in the moment, that's what we're going to call the horse. And he was just absolutely incredible, and then from him we were living the dream because what he was doing. So it was a natural name again for his half brother. But we didn't expect him to do what he's done. You know, you hope that he's going to be pretty good. Adam knew early when he got him that he was quick, and he's shown potential. But that day at York was the first time he'd really had the ground he wanted, and he just bounced off it, and it was good to watch.
I love that with the names. It's gone from Live in the Moment to Live in the Dream to the next one is...
Well, we've got Live a Little Crazy coming up.
Which must embody everything that has just happened this year.
Yeah, we have. It has been a really crazy year.
Cherish these moments at the moment. You know, it's I still can't believe he won the Nunthorpe.
Well, if it all ends tomorrow, you know, you're a Group 1 winning team. And my final question I want to ask about is Adam, because he's not like every other trainer. He's not like but he backs his own gut instincts, and I feel like that is something that's so refreshing to see.
He's an absolute out and out horse nut. You know, he like he said about all this, the press, he'd just be quite happy now to go under his rock and hide away. But he just loves everything about being around the horses, and that's him. And you know, he does things his way, and who can fault him for that?
You always have talked about bringing this horse to America. You've had confidence in him, but confidence in yourself and what your team can do with him, even though you've never been there with a horse, not necessarily, you just know, you feel the two will match.
Exactly. I don't know what it was, but you know, he had that about him, and you know, having the experience of where I've come from, I've had to do things with the difficult horses. You know, you're a little bit more tuned up to ones that are giving you everything, and he's that.
Yeah, and so where we are now, we've got obviously one stop at Keeneland and the next stop at Santa Anita. Sean's there, Lil's there, everyone that has been part and parcel of him. Do you think it's all about winning on that next one, or is it more about learning about what it needs to take to win the Breeders' Cup?
No, I'd be a fool to think that we can go to the Woodford and win that. I think, you know, some of the best American horses are going to be there. All the ones that prep for the Breeders' Cup are going to be there. And I'd just be interested to see him break from their stalls with their speed. But for me, if I see him leading those guys into the 5, you know, half a furlong from home, that's going to be everything. That will mean we've got something that can go to the Breeders' Cup and put it to them with speed.